Good evening to my This Is Not Legal Advice family. Thank you for joining me this evening. I'll be honest with you. I recorded it's Friday, Am I in Love video, Friday evening. And it just didn't feel right. Something was off about it. And it is super late where I am right now. And I have been going through what I wanted to talk about tonight over and over and over again. And there's something about the energy right now it's almost like a procrastination energy. Like, I'm not trying to delay this. I don't want to delay this. I'm up late tonight. It's almost like your person's up late tonight. Anyway, I wanted to start off the reading off that way. So let's see how it goes, because I'm not entirely positive right now what's going to happen, but I'm just going to let it fly. So what I wanted to do start off with this red flag oracle and look at maybe the viewer, you, my darling viewers, your energy in terms of what has happened in your most recent relationship prior to the one I assume you're coming here to listen about, in terms of what has held you back. And this came out just pretty quickly. And it says, peace looks good on you. And it has a little sign, your peace is greater than performance. You are glowing differently now, which I take as a fantastic sign for our reading that you are in an energy where you are ready to hear what we have to say tonight, what we're talking about tonight. Even though maybe perhaps for the last few days I was not, even the last few hours I was not. But Spirit said it's time to go, stop waiting. And perhaps that's the energy that you are in with respect to your current person on your mind, or the energy that they are in. So let's find out about the red flag in your relationship that either you're thinking about or was most prior to this one. Maybe a red flag that you didn't notice or have noticed and is coming to your mind. Let's take a look, as significant, of course. Thank you again for joining me. This is not legal advice, but it is, I think, worth seeing. Let's just see what happens. Let's get weird, Okay. This one kept coming up over and over and over again in my pre-shuffles. You don't owe a final message. Closure isn't something they give. It's something you choose. Okay. My beautiful viewers, here's the thing is this. In my experience, we often feel this need, this overwhelming need to explain ourselves and why we're choosing what we're choosing, or breaking up with someone, or whatever it may be. And maybe it's not clear, but we feel like this obligation to people sometimes, and I myself have been guilty of this, to explain and to close and whatever. And often we find that people don't give us the closure, but we feel this need to give other people closure. And I'm not saying be a jerk, but maybe you didn't, you feel guilty perhaps about not giving somebody some kind of closure, or maybe you're upset because they didn't give you closure, because the reality is nobody owes anyone that closure. You may never get it. They may never get it. And that's okay, because closure is, in my mind, an illusion. Closure is something you choose. You choose to move on. People may never give you an answer that's going to work. People could give you the best answer in the world in terms of what they are feeling or why they did what they did, and it may still not be good enough, because closure is something you give yourself. So that being said, I want to understand a little bit more about what it was in this past relationship, or the relationship you're thinking about, that you perhaps did not get closure on. Like I said, this is kind of I don't even know what I'm going to call it yet reading, but it's something that I feel, like I said, needed to come out, even this late hour at night where I am. It was like it didn't want to come out earlier, but it needs to now. Anyway, so what I'd like to know is, please, Spirit, tell me, my beautiful viewers, what is it they were feeling toward this past person? What did they feel about this past person? How did they see them? How did my viewers see this past person, please? And again, I think you will know in your heart who I'm talking about. This could be, again, immediate past, or someone who's in your past that, for whatever you're thinking about this juncture. Okay, we have 9 of Swords. I think it's funny that I just said that you know, I'm up late at night and here we are. The Nine of Swords is an energy of nightmares. It's an energy of not being able to sleep well. This person could have kept you up late at night, I'm hearing, for various reasons, but the one that's coming straight to mind is perhaps you were up waiting, they were out with their friends or whatever you thought that was happening, but deep inside maybe you had a fear that there was some cheating going on or something bad, and you were just like having these nightmares that this person was out and not telling you the truth about who they were or what was going on. But you were up late nights, and when you did sleep, it was nightmares. We have the Queen of Wands. You know, I see you, viewer, as somebody who was giving your all, was just absolutely standing in your power, your glory, saying almost to this person, like, why is it you don't want me? Why are you ignoring me? Why am I worried about this? I shouldn't be worried about this. I'm awesome. I'm living my best life. I'm a passionate, beautiful person. Why am I feeling this way? Why is it something about this relationship is making me feel this way? And we have the Page of Wands. You know, perhaps this person was only giving you like a little bit to go on. I'm hearing like breadcrumbing. You know, this person's breadcrumbing you, leading you on. I mean, I see this person here in this card, almost kind of leading someone down a path. And I feel like this person breadcrumbed you. You're awesome. You're amazing. They're breadcrumbing you. You're staying up at night. You're wondering what's going on. So this is the energy you were in with the past relationship. And I'd like to find out, like, what caused the end of this relationship? What was the ultimate end of this relationship that my viewer's thinking about? Either whether it's the most recent one or the one that is most significant in their mind at this time. Maybe the one that's holding my viewer back from potential future things. Okay, thank you very much, Spirit. It's the Hierophant. The Hierophant. You know, I think you... I think you, my beautiful viewer, had a vision of commitment in the future, stability with this person, and they weren't giving you that stability. They weren't giving you the clarity and the traditional sort of thing you were looking for, that you desired and maybe had to express to this person. They weren't giving you that. They were giving you nightmares instead of the commitment and the security and the stability. So I think that really is what triggered the end here. I'm being called, look at the bottom of the deck. We have Nine of Wands. You know, this is that wounded warrior energy. I'm going to go ahead and put that there. You know, it's almost like your Queen of Wands energy, your powerful, your secure energy, your beauty and your passion were replaced by this Nine of Wands, like wounded warrior. I can't do this anymore energy. This person just really pushed you to the edge. All you wanted, I'm hearing, is commitment. You wanted the relationship and they couldn't do it. And by the way, I just cut the deck and we've got bottom of the cut here, we've got the Hermit card, and it says to me that, you know, you withdrew. This is a 9 and this is a 9, right? You withdrew into yourself here. This person, like, even though maybe you were open, you were ready for that beautiful, passionate beginning or relationship, they were not willing or able to give you that with any degree of clarity. I want to also point out we've got wands, 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 wands here. Okay, or excuse me, this is not wands, but there's these 9 energies, wands. This is completion of a cycle, but the wands are fire energy. They're passion, their movement. You were ready to go. You were ready to do this thing, and they weren't. So let me ask, Spirit, how does this person and my viewers past, how do they view my viewer now? Okay. I want to come back to something real quick. I just noticed that one of my cards was flipped here when I was shuffling, and I want to see what it was, because it also tells me maybe the energies here were flipped. Maybe at the beginning, you know, you thought they were some kind of way, and at the end they saw you a certain kind of way. It was totally different. So let's see what this card is. It's the Ten of Chalices. Okay, my loves. At the Ten of Chalices, it says to me, because again, we were talking about this Page of Wands, you know, they were only giving you a small offer. Perhaps at the beginning, you know, this is 10 of Cups, they call it chalices here, but this is that energy of completion and happiness in love, fulfillment in love. And so perhaps at the beginning of this, they saw you as being that in their ideal mind. But for some reason, that turned and that stopped. And they pulled back. And instead of maybe giving you some of this full energy they were giving at the beginning, they shifted it into this Page of Wands, breadcrumbing, pulling away kind of thought process. But the good news is we have this 9, 10, so we're coming to an end of a cycle. I'm going to flip this around here and see what's the bottom. We have the Page of Chalices. This just reinforces for me, we're going from, you know, Queen and high level energy here to Page energy. Page of Wands, lesser passion. Maybe you were picking up on lesser passion, lesser desire, less action on the part of your partner. Page of Chalices, that's cups, you know, that's water energy, that's love. They were perhaps going from something more significant to just like minor energy. And I'm seeing here we have strength. You know, this is fire, this is Leo. So we already have a lot of fire here. And just for the sign purposes, you know, with the fire energy, we have that Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. These are energies and signs of movement and passion, of course, and fire. And so what I'm seeing here is, you know, you saw the writing on the wall here, and you had to muster up your strength. I'm sorry, I'm showing this, but I want to show what's beneath it. You had to muster up your strength, your fiery energy, your action, your action card here, to move away, to get yourself some justice. And justice, by the way, this is air energy. This is sort of mind over matter. This is being sort of getting that fair ending and trying to do what's right for you. And you realize maybe this relationship was not fair and equal. And so you mustered your strength and you went here to your justice card and to your fairness. And you took a chance. You know, perhaps you gave this person an ultimatum about this Hierophant energy you wanted here. You said, I wanna do something, I don't want to say reckless, but let's do something wild. Let's do something crazy. Let's take a leap of faith. Let's just see where this thing goes, right? Let's maybe see, is this something we can build a relationship out of? And I'm getting that they ghosted you. They breadcrumbed and then they faded. And it took everything I think you had, my dear viewer, in terms of strength, to stand up for yourself. This is air energy, it's Libra energy. We are in Libra season. I'm also hearing, by the way, if you look at this card carefully, it's actually that snake almost looks like it's biting the finger of the person. And that tells me two things. One, perhaps this person was venomous, right? They were toxic to you and you needed to get away from that. Secondarily, I'm hearing maybe you knew that. Maybe you knew at some level that they were, and you finally saw the sword of truth here. You saw they were venomous, and you had to live in your truth. And the sword is, again, pointing up to our strength, and you had to walk away. And at some level, I feel like you, as a decent person, wanted to give them some closure and a final message to say, hey, this is why I did all this. Or maybe when you walked away and they didn't give you what you expected or wanted here, you thought, well, maybe they'll message me and they'll give me some closure. But what I'm hearing here is there's not this closure. And that could be because maybe as here, for example, we have a spiral, but not a circle. It's not closed. It's not an end loop here. It could be this is somebody who maybe once they got bitten by this sword of truth, in a sense, they're realizing this is something they wanted and it's not over, or they're hoping it's not over. But whatever it is, when this did end, at least for all 3D intensive purposes, there was no explanation, there was no closure, there was no rationale. Are we getting back together? Are we going to work on this? What's going on? So that was the energy of your most recent relationship as I'm seeing it. So what I want to look at now is, okay, what is the current status? Oh, we lost the flame there. Maybe that's saying that, right here, maybe that's telling us that your current romantic situation is not exactly getting too hot right now, right? It's not excellent. It's cold. Maybe you feel like that flame, that love in you has gone out. That fire energy we're talking about in the prior area. Maybe you felt like that energy was just for this person. Like, how could I feel that way again? How could I bring that into a new relationship? I'm hearing, I'm tired. You know, it's late. I'm tired. I am over this. I want somebody who's going to be with me for the long haul, which is this card, by the way, at the bottom of what I was shuffling here. I want somebody who's in it with me for that Hierophant energy, that is here for it all. I'm tired. I'm just hearing it. I'm tired. It's late and I'm tired. And so what I'd like to know, Spirit, is the person that, well, my beautiful viewers, tell me, what is going on in the mind of my viewer right now with respect to their current love situation, lack of love, or in terms of romantic love? What is going on? What is happening there? Thank you, Spirit. I appreciate you, Spirit. And I appreciate you, viewer, for liking and subscribing and giving all the thumbs ups and the hypes and the whatnots and the doodads. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you. I do this for the love of the game, so, you know, maybe this won't be pleasant, but it's what I feel like Spirit's got to tell you. Detective, snooping, digging for dirt, accusations, okay? Maybe you're suspicious. After what you've been through, maybe even people who approach you with an interest, you are suspicious. You know, I'm hearing that, don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious. But you are, and maybe with good reason, you know, because you didn't get that closure we talked about. Maybe you feel like there's something that must have gone on, and if there's somebody new coming into the picture, like there's certainly something going on with that person. Like there's just something holding you back here, and I think it's a wariness and a suspicion. Frenemy, fake friends, two-faced, hidden intentions. Again, hidden intentions. I think you're searching for those in anybody that comes your way, even romantically. Like, what are you really getting at here? You know, even if this person comes back, the one we were talking about just now, you know, you're wondering, what is your deal? You didn't give me any closure. You walked away. Maybe you ghosted me. And now, I don't know. Like, what's your real intention here? Are you just trying to manipulate me? I'm just hearing a lot of manipulation and concern of manipulation. Not actual, maybe this person didn't mean to do anything like that, but you're perceiving it as manipulation. And you're worried, perhaps, that there's ulterior motives in whoever is approaching you right now. Give me one more on the energy of my viewer, please, at this present time. Energy of my viewer at this present time as I'm recording this. This reading is timeless, but let's see. Oh, we got two. We got my boo. Official status, exclusive relationship, seeing each other openly, and reading up, doing the research, learning more, gaining insight. So to the extent that you are looking forward to or have a relationship with somebody here, you know, I think you're looking for that commitment. We've talked about that before. Whatever it is, you know, you're in a place in your life, viewer, where you are ready for something more significant. And again, that person wasn't willing to give it to you, at least at that time. So right now you're like, okay, I don't know, this person that's here or that I'm maybe interested in or is interested in me, can I be sure that they really are? Or if my person came back, can I really be sure about that? And so you're doing the research, you're learning more, you're getting insight. And we have TikTok, deadline, procrastination. I talked about that earlier. Too busy. I mean, I told you about that just now, that I felt like there was an energy of procrastination, even for this reading, where I had recorded that one on Friday, and here we sit at, you know, nearly, you know, X o'clock in the morning, because Spirit was saying, like, just get it done. Like, let's just do the thing. Just do it. So that's the energy I'm getting from you, viewer, is you might be nervous. You might not have gotten closure in past relationships. You might have seen or experienced things that, whether real or perceived, poisoned you. Again, we're looking at that venomous energy from before. Poisoned you against love. As much as you want that commitment, as much as you want love, it has poisoned you. And you're thinking, I'm just, you know what, now I'm kind of wary. I'm going to pull back. I'm going to do my research. And you're procrastinating. Maybe somebody is showing you interest, and you're thinking, I'm just going to hold back. I'm going to hold back because I'm not sure. And I hate to say it, but, you know, you can never really be 100% sure. You just got to kind of take a leap of faith. So I'm going to get, I don't know why, I just felt the need to take one more. Dirty money. This one keeps coming up. I've done this, and I pre-shuffled these cards as I was procrastinating myself and trying to think about what I wanted to do. And this one kept coming up. This dirty money, laundering, steal, illegal. There's something about this relationship that you're either entering into or were into that felt like, I don't mean this like truly like monetarily illegal or something like that, because again, not legal advice, but it just, it seemed so, I'm hearing too good to be true. Too good to be true. You thought to yourself, this person is everything that I possibly wanted. They were giving me all this attention, all this interest, and they were giving me that, and I thought, this is it. But as it turned out, like, that was fake. That was a fraud. That was theft from me. I'm not saying whether that's true or not. I don't know. What I'm saying is, at the end of the relationship of, here that we talked about at first, that's how you left feeling about this. What I'd like to look at now is, Spirit, I want to know, what does my viewer really, really, really want? Do they want a new relationship? Are they interested in giving somebody, whoever it may be, a fresh start? Are they interested in whatever is coming their way? Are they ready for that? These are the kind of questions I'm thinking of on the whole in terms of your energy, viewer. So this is what I'm asking Spirit to give me cards on. And this deck does tend to be pretty chatty, so bear with me. I suspect we'll get some good information here on what you're really feeling, whether you're expressing that or not. So bear with me. Also, there are a couple cards in this deck that are a little saucy, not in my opinion, but YouTube's God's opinions. So I may have to cover some up, so bear with me. Again, Spirit is giving us some answers here on what your energy may be. Maybe you think you're ready for a relationship, but you need to do a little more healing first, or you don't know that you're ready for a relationship, but you are. Let's just take a look. Okay, I'm hearing that's enough. Okay, we have the Tower. The Tower energy is powerful energy of change. Major Arcana. Something changed in you. When this relationship we were talking about at the very beginning, when that ended, there was a shift. A major shift. This was an earthquake in your life. Again, and I'm sensing it's from, there was a belief at some level that this person was the one. And all signs pointed to that being the one. And you wanted that commitment. And that person decided to pull back, breadcrumb, and fade off into the distance. And that caused an incredible shift in you. I'm looking at this person, over here in the card. I apologize for the glare here. The tower always has people falling from it, right? But this guy is like upside down. He's in royal robes. So maybe you felt like you were really being treated like royalty. Like this was the one. This was the thing. And you're divested now of your crown. You're upside down. You don't know what to do. But another major arcana. I think you have hope. I think there is a beautiful new thing for you in the future. Maybe you see it as a fantasy. I'm looking at this, and this person's riding a unicorn, which of course unicorns aren't real creatures, in case you don't know. I hate to be a spoiler alert on this one, but unicorns aren't real. Closest you're going to get is a rhinoceros. But this person is like riding away from this tower moment, maybe on the whims of like fancy. Like maybe you're trying to get away from the pain and the change that's caused in you, hoping for a better outcome. But maybe that outcome is partly rooted in a fantasy that you still hold on to. All right, we have the Seven of Wands. You're fighting it. I think there's still like a real energy of hope to you. Maybe it's like a bubble here. If you look at the card, there's like a bubble protecting this person. You've got this six wands coming at you, like the odds are ostensibly stacked against you, and yet you're holding this 1-1 and you're confident. You're not stressed. You're ready to go. And listen, whether that's a projection of confidence or actual confidence is immaterial. The bottom line is whether you're actually showing it or not showing it, you really truly do want that still. And maybe you're not sure how that's going to shake out, but you're not going to listen to the naysayers. You're not going to listen to those who tell you it's a fantasy, get on with your life, move on. And that could be a fantasy about this person coming back, this person actually not understanding that what they did hurt you, or this person may be changing their minds, but you are not bothered, is what I'm hearing. In fact, what did I just say? Holding on. 4 of Pentacles. Holding on to that fantasy at some level. And I'm not saying it's a bad fantasy or you're wrong. We'll get to that in a minute. What I'm saying is this energy is an energy of I'm not letting go of the dream of happiness, the fantasy of happiness, whether it's, again, with this past person or with the concept of love on the whole. Let's get a look here. We have the King of Wands. You know, I think you're holding out for this person that you view, whether, again, it's the past person or somebody in the future, somebody that you view as, like, look, okay, you got this sun, like, behind the throne here because of the way the sunbeams are coming out. This is the person who is, like, so big to you in terms of personality and love that they block out the sun, that they are just so powerful and passionate and in love with you. This is how you view the person that you want to have in your life. And I think you're still holding out this hope that this person will be there for you. Now, that, again, that could be the person in the past, could be somebody now, or somebody you haven't met yet. So let's take a look. All right. Tell me more, please, about who this King of Wands is. All right, we have Death in the cut here. This is the Death Rebirth card, right? So this is, again, we have a sun setting, so almost like a sun setting on a prior dream. So I don't know if this is somebody from your past. Maybe this is somebody, it could be from your past, but like where you thought it was done, donezo, over, complete. But it's the Death and Rebirth card. So perhaps this is somebody, also, by the way, Scorpio energy, if that means something to you. Somebody who you thought was like out for the count, done. But maybe they're not. Okay, we've got the 7 of Pentacles here on the bottom, and this is 2 things here. First of all, 7 of Pentacles is this energy of like planting a seed for future growth, you know, starting something, building something. I'm hearing from the ground up, like sort of rebuilding that tower. But also notice this individual, she appears to be pregnant, or she had a delicious burrito for lunch, not sure. But either way, she is still out here tending to her field, like you're tending to your work, you're tending to your garden, you're tending to your things. But there's almost like an upward look of optimism. And it's another 7 here. You know, we've got the 7 here, and you know, we have 7-4, so maybe July 4th is important, or April 7th. Just like thinking out loud here. Okay, let's hear more about this King of Wands. Who is the King of Wands in my viewer's life? Who are they now? If they are in my viewer's life, who are they now? Or if they have yet to meet them, please do let me know, Spirit. All right. By the way, I avoided looking at the cut so we could kind of see what Spirit has to say here more, I don't know, in more detail. So let's take a look. King of Wands, give me some more details, please, Spirit. Who is this King of Wands from my viewer's perspective? Okay. All right, who are they now? Okay, I have the Knight of Swords, and I did see this. It didn't pop out when I first went through it, but this is, it did, inevitably, obviously. The Knight of Swords is somebody who's charging in. Actually, I see this not charging in. I see this as like a trot. You know, somebody who's kind of going in at an even pace here with this sword of truth. They're ready to tell you the truth about what happened. Maybe they didn't give you the closure before, but they're ready to explain maybe more now what happened. So this could very well be that person we were talking about before. Then we have the Magician. This is somebody who has all the elements at their disposal, but I'm seeing just in this particular deck, I'm seeing a lot of these roses here. And this person, you know, again, this is the moon. Maybe there's some mystery behind them. There's some unknowns, but they're manifesting eternity, always. Infinity right here. So maybe they're charging in to tell you, look, I know I didn't close this thing out. I didn't close it out because we weren't done here. Maybe it seemed like we were done. We weren't done here. And then we have the King of Cups. You know, this person, again, coming in with the truth to tell you this wasn't over. They were, I'm seeing, like, thinking here about how to pour out this cup of love in these turbulent waters. You know, it could have been both of you had some really serious things going on in your life where it wasn't time to do that. And this is, by the way, this is the second time I've seen this in this deck this evening. This is the Five of Cups on the bottom. This is regret, right? Generally speaking. But what we're looking at here is we got this King of Cups. He's holding his cup here in his hand upright. He has not poured it out yet. He's looking at all these turbulent waters. In my mind, he's looking at this like, do I want to give this person everything? Do I want to pour out my cup of love? And this person over here is like, yeah, I do. But like, if I pour my cup of love out here, am I going to regret that here? And that's buttressed by this Seven of Cups here, which is your energy of options, right? This person may view themselves as they have options and they don't want to foreclose any of them. So it's like, if I pour my cup of love out here, like, I feel like it's not over. I want to tell them the truth, but also, hey, if I do tell them the truth and pour out my cup of love, I'm shutting down these other options in my life. And then you have this King of Swords just looking like, oh, I don't know. I don't know what the truth is. I can't. I want to be in this Six of Wands energy. I want to come out victorious. I want to be happy. I want to get this Six of Pentacles energy. I want, like, again, we have 6 here. I want to be happy and have an even give and take, right? We've got more, scales here to reflect our justice earlier. You know, we want the give and take. I want it all is what I'm hearing. I want it all. But I think that they're so confused. Look at all these great options I have out here. Do I pour my cup of love? So I'm hearing a delay. I'm hearing, feeling like this person, I don't think it's over, but I'm feeling there's a delay and there's, again, this issue of not having closure. And I don't think there's, words. I feel like there's not closure because it's not over. You can't have closure in a lot of ways until something is truly over, or at least you accept that it's over. And I don't think this person has accepted that it's over. And look here, Two of Wands just popped out. Someone who is carefully considering options and looking to the future. And we have our Strength card again. This is, they're, I think, mustering up the strength to come forward. To come forward and ease the lion in you, to soothe the lion in you, to come forward in this energy of softness and care and affection. And maybe you're ready to just rip their heads off. Like, how dare you? How dare you, sir, ma'am? Okay, you left me here with no closure, with no information. I don't know what happened up in this place. And you just wander in and want me to, accept this thing. And they're just coming in like, shh, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Calm down, which is always, by the way, very effective. What I want to know is, when this person comes in, what is their energy going to be? When the person comes in, whoever they are, new or this person from before, where there's no closure, what is that person's energy going to be, please, Spirit? What is their energy? Indecision. Okay, you are afraid to make a mistake, so you won't commit either way. So, again, much as I think this person really does love you, there is an energy of indecision, and I'm seeing bottom of the deck, feel unloved. You deserve someone who can support you emotionally and love you fully, which of course you 100% do, viewer, just in case you weren't clear on that. And I'm not saying this person doesn't love you, but that indecision is like paralyzing them. I mean, they want to come forward. They want to ease your pain. They want to have that strength energy of the shh, it's okay, and to calm that fear in you. Are they going to leave again? Are they really serious this time? And I'm not sure at this point, and I don't think they're sure. That's why I'm saying this whole reading has been, for me, procrastination, being up late at night. I think they're sitting up late at night. I think your person is sitting up late at night with this energy of indecision. What do I do? What do I do? What else are they feeling? Thank you, Spirit. Getting crumbs. We talked about this with the breadcrumbs. I mean, You deserve more than crumbs of affection. Wait for the one who adores you. I think that's energy on both sides, you know, here. I think that at some level, maybe even they thought they were getting crumbs. Maybe you were holding back because you were nervous that, or you are ready to hold back and not give your all. Like, if they come in, am I going to give them my all, or am I only going to give a little bit because I'm nervous now? They've spooked me a little bit. Again, spooking me like a horse. I'm seeing some of the night cards we had before. But, you know, love is the answer. Love won't solve your problems. You need to work on being independent. That is true. But love is the answer. So what are you feeling, viewer? What are you feeling when this person comes in? You know, how are you feeling about this indecision? How are you feeling about their concern that you might not fully forgive them? You might hold back. How are you feeling? Okay, we got a flip card here. Addiction. You are either obsessed with someone or struggling with addiction. Get help. Well, here we are. We're getting help. I think you're a little bit addicted to them. I think they're worried about like just getting crumbs from you, but you are ready to just hop all the way in. Like, you're mad about it. And don't get me wrong, you're mad about it. I don't think you're like excited. I think you kind of like want to kick yourself in the rear for being like so willing to jump back into this thing. But I think you're addicted. I think you really are. I think you love this person. Yeah, and you're being cold. You seem unapproachable because you're aloof. Try being more friendly. I think that you, despite your addiction to this person, and this is why maybe they feel like they're getting breadcrumbs or they're worried they're going to get breadcrumbs, is because you are protecting yourself by being cold, maybe a little off-putting. And that's because of that past trauma. You need to take time for yourself and heal your past trauma before moving on. If you really are addicted to this person, you really love this person, you really want to be with this person, you got to heal yourself first. You got to love yourself first. Not legal advice, not even psychological advice. You got to heal yourself first. Because again, they're going to feel it. They're going to feel it in terms of you. They're getting crumbs. You are going to express it by being cold. And I don't think that's what either one of you wants. So what is the energy, regardless of how it may appear on the outside, what is the energy between my viewer and the person on their mind when this person comes back to talk to them and maybe heal this? What is that energy? Seeking perfection. Everyone has flaws. Oh my goodness, look at that past trauma back on the bottom. I'm sorry. Everyone has flaws. Choose only 5 must-haves and deal breakers that matter. I don't know if 5 is the right number, whatever. But maybe you're both like, I'm hearing type A personality, perfectionist, and I don't mean that in a bad way because I am myself, which is maybe what led to the procrastination here and getting this done. I didn't feel like it was perfect. You know, you're looking for perfection in each other and maybe not accepting that nobody's perfect. You know, everybody's got hurt. Everybody's got their past traumas. And we need to give each other a little bit of grace, is what I'm hearing. Just give each other a little grace if you really want this. If this is the person you love or could love, and it's what you want in your life, maybe give each other a little bit of grace. Okay, you know, again, withhold judgment. Withhold judgment. Don't be too quick to count someone out. Be open and give them a fair chance. Stop with this seeking perfection, both of you. Cut it out. Don't let me turn the hose on you. Stop it. Also, no good ones. There is someone out there for you. Don't let this false belief make you miss out. You know, I think that there might be a belief on both sides that, like, what's the point? Like, even the person I love, I'm addicted to, I care about, that I didn't completely shut out, but it feels like it was over. Like, isn't there anybody out there? Is there no one out there for me? I hear you saying. You know, there's some beautiful people, but I want more than that. And I can have this. I can have eye candy. I don't want that. I want this person on either side. And you're worried, why can't I have the good ones? Why can't I have that? But you're also like looking to this person and judging them with an expectation of perfection. And they're not perfect. You're not perfect. They're not perfect. But that doesn't mean it's not a perfect relationship, right? Because like, ideally we heal each other. You know, we help each other heal. We don't have to be great. We're not saying we're each other's therapists or like trauma bond or anything like that. But in an ideal relationship, you know, the way you all interact helps you both grow to be the best versions of yourself over time. You know, you don't have to come in being the best version, but you certainly should feel challenged in a relationship to be the best version, best version of yourself. And something flipped over there. I'm sorry. Oh, I got cards flipping around doing all kinds of crazy stuff. You know, maybe you're willing to do crazy stuff to make this work. Okay, we have, SEX only. Sorry, I don't know what YouTube's positions are on this sort of thing. Either you or your partners only want SEX, accept that it's okay, or reach for more. So, you know, again, this goes to the eye candy. You know, maybe you're worried this person only wants you for this, or vice versa. But the reality is, I don't think that's the case. I think you both really want something deeper. And you're worried that maybe this is all it is. But that's just not true. Expectations. When you expect too much, no one measures up. Ditch your list, want what's real. Judgment, perfection, eye candy. You all are both, again, I'm hearing high achieving individuals. And you have high expectations, reasonably so. That's why at the beginning we were talking about like not getting closure. Maybe you thought if this person feels some kind of way, they should tell me. But here's the reality is people aren't perfect. You know, people get confused, people are hurt, people come in with their past traumas that we talked about. And maybe that doesn't allow them to do that. But it doesn't mean they don't care about you. So again, I'm hearing give each other grace. Be vulnerable. It says you cannot experience true intimacy unless you open your heart and be yourself. So, you know, what I'm hearing here is if you really, really want this, you're addicted to this person, don't be cold. All right, it's going to set off like a trigger, like to the extent that you can take any kind of like message here in terms of when this person comes in, and I do believe they will. The person you're feeling about that you didn't get closure with, don't be cold. To the extent you can help it, try and trust. I'm hearing trust that this person is equally harsh and judgmental of themselves. They're equally worried that you're so beautiful and fabulous that maybe you just have other options. You want so much from them. They don't know what to do. And maybe you're thinking, I mean, I'm like, maybe, how would they want me? Maybe you have like an imposter syndrome where you're thinking maybe why would they want me? I mean, I'm cool and all, but like, maybe they just want what everybody else has wanted in the past, which is just, you know, that SEX. So let's find out a little bit more, and then we'll close this out. I'm feeling we'll close it out in terms of messages that you maybe want to send each other, because I'm hearing, ironically, a lot of lack of communication. Like, you both have feelings, and if you could just open up and be vulnerable. I think being vulnerable, that's that sun. Look at that sun just poking through. You know, could you be vulnerable with each other and cut through the mess? You know, all these cards here, they're so like dark. You know, we got snow and you know, can we get through? Can we get to the other side? Can we get some sunlight on this? And if we could, what would we hear? If my viewer were vulnerable, what would my viewer actually say to this person on their mind? Okay. My beloved, can you hear me whisper your name? And if the person they're thinking of, my viewers, if that person could say something in return, what would they say? What would they say to my viewer? Thank you again for joining me. I know it's super late, but I mean, it's late for me. It's whatever time it is for you when you see this. I love you so much. Oh my God. One more. What would this person say? How beautiful is that? I mean, remember, there's a difference between the 3D and what shows up, okay? And the 5D and what's going on where we can't see it, what's going on behind the scenes, right? And it says, I wish we could be together, but it's complicated. So again, I don't think what you're dealing with here is so clear cut, but I think it starts to get better when you start communicating openly and be vulnerable. It says here, will you help me? And I think you both share that. Will you help me? I love you. Can you hear me? I love you. it's complicated. Can you understand me? Do you hear what I'm saying? Like, there's a lack of understanding here that's really profound and sad. And it comes off as being, I felt like I needed to take this, ambivalent. It comes off as this neutrality because both of you are scared of being hurt. There wasn't this closure. There weren't these expectations met. There were these fears. But I think you both love each other very much. As you say you want to love her, but you're not all in. Take time to figure out what you want. Don't act ambivalent. Don't act neutral. Don't act like you don't care. Like you're being cold. Like you're, I'm indecisive. Be vulnerable. Take the step. Say the thing. Okay? Because if you don't do that, I feel you're going to stay stuck in this energy, for the indefinite future. And I'm sorry, I know I said that was it. Apologize, you guys, but I'm being told to pull out another oracle here to get a little more clarity. There was, in fact, I feel the love. That fell down. I feel the love. Spirit saying, look, I feel the love. Tell him I feel the love. And I do. That's what I'm saying. Is I feel the love so strongly between you. And yet, here we are. You're over here watching tarot and they're, watching football or something. I don't know. I still think about you. You thought they forgot you. They didn't forget you. Can you forgive me? Maybe you cut them off and they, because you assumed it was over, you didn't answer them. And you're wondering, is it my fault? Can you forgive me? I love you. I'm addicted to you. I'm sorry if I'm acting cold. Can you please forgive me, my beloved? What else? This is my energy, by the way. I do feel the love. I do. I can feel it from here. Like, I don't know when you're watching this. I don't know who you are. And I don't know what's going on specifically in the details of your life. But what I can tell you is I really feel the love you have for this person and this person has for you. And I'm seeing just misunderstanding after misunderstanding. And, false starts maybe after false starts. Lack of closure. And again, there's no closure because, first of all, again, closure is just a fictitious concept. But also, maybe there wasn't closure, like I said, because it wasn't over. It wasn't closed. Okay. I can't hold back any longer. So I think they're going to come toward you. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it, viewer? What say you? In your heart of hearts, if you were honest, what would you say? This person says, I can't hold back any longer. I still think about you. I love you so much. What would you say? You know what you'd say. I don't even need answers. I probably shouldn't even pull a card. Because you know what you'd say. I still care about you. I see you when I close my eyes. I knew it all along. I am so excited for you, viewer, that you have this love coming into your life. I know, again, I told you this is a late reading for Friday, considering it's like middle of the night, Sunday. But I understand now why. Because I'm feeling that procrastination energy. I'm feeling that withholding. But at the core, I feel the love. You feel the love. You knew it all along. You didn't need me to tell you that. You're here, and thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Like it, subscribe it, share it, all that. But you knew. You did not need me to tell you this. You knew it. They knew it. Stop holding back. That, and don't take this as legal advice. I'll see you soon. Good luck.